For over 2 decades, the Native Hawaiian Convention has been the pulse of Hawaii's native population.
And now, as more of our ohana live on the continent than in our ancestral homeland, it's time to meet them where they are. So we're heading up to Tulalip in Washington State. Take a look.
Joining us now is Daniel Ikaika Ito. We know him as Ito, Senior Director of Communications and Media for Hawaiian Council. Aloha, brother.
Aloha.
Thank you
for having me.
Yes, thank you for hanging out with us. Now, you must be super excited for this upcoming Native Hawaiian Convention, yeah?
So excited, so busy, but ready to owamo the kuleana.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Now, as a Senior Director of Communications and Media, getting the word out about another convention on the continent I imagine, very important. What has been the response from the Kanaka up there?
The response from the Kanaka on the continent has been overwhelmingly positive, and we were very intentional in the way that we reached out, having to utilize a lot of digital communication channels, especially reaching out to some of the Kanaka Maoli who have larger social media followings up there, and then getting them to carry the message.
I can imagine everybody's just stoked about that. And I just, we've been kind of doing our research, and we know that Kuhana, Together, Advancing Hawaiian Communities, and OEVA have all been kind of like themes for this year's convention. How are you guys going to incorporate all of those themes?
I think those themes are incorporated through the larger intention of communicating with Hawaiians living in diaspora. I remember when we were first putting together the initial branding and visuals, we stumbled upon the story of Ka'iana, and then we kind of lucked out that Jason Momoa ended up being Ka'iana in Chief of War. But what's interesting about Ka'iana was that he left Paeaina, and then he eventually made his way up to Washington area in the Pacific Northwest. And so I bring up that story because that's one of the stories where we're honoring our past as Native Hawaiians, and we're celebrating the present, but also we want to align for the future of Lahui, especially with the Hawaiians living on the continent.
I understand some of those themes are going to also be in not just the workshops, but in different activities that are happening. I know that opening ceremony is going to be huge, right?
Yeah, opening ceremony, it spanned across so much of the continent from the East Coast to the West Coast, as well as the participation that we had on Oahu. And what's going to be so cool is when you're experiencing the opening ceremony video, we hope that it will elicit some emotions, but also reinforce that just because you may be living on the continent, you are still Hawaiian, you still can engage with the culture.
Now, tell us a little bit about some of these goodies here, because I see some of the themes of OEVA, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Like, OEVA, come grab this beef jerky. Let's do it. No,
yeah, so one of the ways that we are also bringing the Hawaiian culture to the continent is Namea Hawaii presents the makeke at 2025 Native Hawaiian Convention. So there'll be 2 types of makeke at the convention. One will be the general store where you can engage with Hawaii through your taste buds. So we'll have snacks like kalaheo beef jerky, as well as dried fruits from Kahumana Farms. And what I'm super excited about that I've only heard about on the street is Kahumana Farms also makes fruit roll-up. And it's a dried fruit that they grow on the farm. And I don't know about you folks, I would rather have my keiki eating something that was produced locally here in Hawaii rather than something that was produced in a large factory. And then I'm also wearing the exclusive Sig Zane long sleeve shirt that Sig Zane Designs made for the convention, as well as this fitted golf hat. And so we had 6 designers create exclusive products that will be featured at the makeke.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a call. Hello? Yes. Kuhio said you got to put the hat and the shirt back. Nothing you can keep them at. I said,
but you know what? I know you're saying that the makeke presented by Namea Hawaii is open for everybody, but I imagine that there are a lot of Native Hawaiians that still would like to attend. Is it too late to register?
It's not too late to register. Yeah. I would encourage anybody, especially if you're on the continent, to come and join us. Not only do we have the makeke, not only do we have amazing panelists panelists and speakers and engaging cultural workshops, but we're also going to have a concert that's going to have Kapena, Hiawatha, and Common Kings.
Wow.
So if you cannot cover the whole thing, at least come and visit the makeke, come to the concert, and then let's build Pilina.
Thank you so much, brother. So yeah, so take off the shirt, take off the hat, leave that with us.
And we're going to grind the beef jerky. Let's go.